All right, so I'm going to walk you through my step-by-step process on how I create my Cajun style dirty rice made with ground turkey. And for my rice, I like to use a mixture of brown rice and wild rice. You can use whatever type of rice you want, but I like the combination of those two because they're healthier than white rice. I no longer buy white rice. I have no white rice in my house. And you want to cook your rice first and just kind of sit it to the side. It doesn't have to be cold like you're making fried rice, but you need it to be cooler, than just fresh off the stove. And I put olive oil and avocado oil, either one of those two is fine, in the pot when you're doing the rice. The wild rice has a little bit more of a chewy texture, and it does take longer to cook. I put them together in the pot. The wild rice and brown rice, they both take about 40 to 45 minutes to fully cook. And they're just much healthier for you, like I said. And like I said, once you get your rice done, just sit it to the side and let it cool down. And then we'll get into the turkey and all the vegetables. It's not really a difficult dish to create. It doesn't take that long. So let's move forward to the turkey. So for the ground turkey, I like to buy a brand called Jenny O. That's what I buy from Publix. I saute it in a skillet. Whatever grocery stores in your area, you can get whatever brand you want, but that's what brand I like, and it works for me, and it's a good flavor. Buying a good ground turkey really does matter, so make sure you get your trusted brand of ground turkey. Traditionally, this dish is made with beef, but I like it better with turkey. I do eat beef. I also eat bison. I eat bison a little bit more than I eat beef, but turkey works good for me. So let's season it up. Now, as you can see, I did add some Worcestershire sauce in there. You can pronounce it however you want. Everybody pronounces it differently. Before you put the Worcestershire sauce in there, make sure you drain the fat off. I don't know why people like to cook their ground meats and leave the fat in the skillet. I think that's disgusting. Pour the fat off first, and then you put moisture back into it with the Worcestershire sauce. And then I season it with sea salt, garlic powder, a little bit of thyme. Be very careful with your thyme because it's very strong and it can overpower it. You don't want to put too much thyme. A little bit of ground ginger, a little bit of chili powder, paprika, and you can do a little bit of crushed pepper flake to add a little heat to it. And ground turkey doesn't take that long, so once you get it seasoned up, you can season it how you want, but if you want it to taste like mine, just follow my instructions. And now we're going to go ahead and chop our vegetables up. And I forgot one more ingredient, a little bit of oregano. If you don't have oregano, Italian seasoning is fine, but a little bit of oregano to give it a little bit of a more complex flavor. All right, we're over halfway done. I had some green onions, aka scallions, left over. You don't have to do scallions. You can just do regular onion if you want. I actually did both this time around because I had them and I don't like throwing away food. You also want to add some green bell pepper or red or both. I do a little bit of mushroom, and you also want to do some tomatoes. Now, as you can see in the video, I didn't have any Roma tomatoes. I think I had the on the vine tomatoes. They'll work too. But the Roma tomatoes are a little bit better simply because they don't secrete as much liquid and it won't be as soggy. But even if you do use the on the vine tomatoes, the rice and the turkey and everything you put back in there is going to absorb all that liquid. But it's just going to bring it all together. So we're going to go ahead and saute our vegetables and bring everything together. And it'll be done in no time. Alright, so you want to go ahead and add some lubrication to your skillet. Extra virgin olive oil is what I prefer. Add in your vegetable mixture. This is our onions, bell peppers, mushrooms, and tomatoes. You can use raw mushrooms and just chop them up if you want. I think I use canned ones in this one. Chopped garlic. Add a little bit more flavor. And then we're going to add in a little bit of cracked black pepper. A little bit of grass-fed butter just for a little bit more, depth and keep everything from sticking. Keep everything moving around. And then you can add a little bit of Cajun seasoning either now or later. I'm going to add mine a little bit later. This is our rice that has been cooling off. This is our brown and wild rice mixture that I told you about. And then once you get the rice mixed in, you're going to go ahead and put the ground turkey in there. And once you put the ground turkey in there, you see how that liquid starting to kind of, secrete from the tomatoes? That's because I used the on the vine tomatoes. So like I said, either one is fine, that one or the Roma. This is McCormick's Cajun seasoning, by the way, and I like McCormick's because it's not too salty. I do not like overly salty food, and when you're using pre-mixed spices, sometimes they can be too salty. So use whatever Cajun seasoning you like, and then a little bit more garlic powder. And to add a little bit of heat at the end, I'm going to add a little bit of crushed red pepper flake, not cayenne pepper, red pepper flake, because it's a little bit less intense. And if you're cooking for a crowd, you don't want to burn people's mouths because everybody can't handle heat. And just stir everything up, and there you go. We're going to plate it. And, you know, I did chop up some scallions to put on top of it. I don't recommend that. It didn't really hit like I thought it would. I just was trying something. You don't need to do the chopped scallions. And I made a little side salad to go with it. And that's it. Let me know what y'all think in the comments.